We often treat the Qur'an as a static record of the past, a sequence of linear rules written for a bygone era. Viewing the world through this historical lens forces us into a specific paradigm. It suggests our own lives are nothing more than a straight line, a terminal descent leading inevitably toward a dead end. This focus on the purely physical and observable, the D10 state, limits reality to what can be measured by the senses. It reduces existence to a material trajectory where entropy always wins. This obsession with the physical timeline eventually traps consciousness. Like a preserved body in a museum, a person becomes a dense, frozen artifact, incapable of moving beyond the history they've accumulated. A shift in perspective reveals the text as an executing blueprint, a set of instructions actively generating the present moment. This architecture functions as an eternal memory tesseract, a multi-dimensional matrix where every point in time is accessible at once. The universe operates through this closed-loop system, constantly processing our actions to test if we can maintain coherence against environmental pressure. Within this framework, the physical world serves as the hardware, while the unseen rules of the text act as the underlying software that dictates every state change. These verses provide the necessary parameters for navigating a living, thermodynamic machine, the manual for a system that never stops running. Every soul within this operating system is caught between two simultaneous functional forces. The first is the atom vector, a downward pull toward physical manifestation. This is the gravitropic descent into the friction of mass, time, and decay. Pulling in the opposite direction is the Merriam vector, a phototropic ascent toward the light. It represents the soul's drive to return to the continuous spiritual container from which it emerged. Survival depends on a difficult calculation, maintaining an upward connection to the source while experiencing the full weight of physical friction. When these vectors fall out of sync, the human operating system collapses, leaving the observer trapped in a chaotic physical illusion they can no longer decipher. Navigating this tension requires a topological stabilizer known as wisdom, or hikmah. Wisdom acts as a T3 bridge, a structural phase separator that holds the upward and downward vectors in a state of dynamic, controlled balance. But at times, the physical vector becomes overwhelming. We find ourselves submerged in a maximum entropy environment, a crushing darkness where the system seems to have closed in on us. Here, the system triggers the Eunice protocol. It relies on a simple mechanical truth. A container of chaos cannot digest a signal of pure coherence. Like Eunice in the whale, when the soul refuses to become part of the surrounding heat, the environment is forced to eject it. By issuing a structural confession, acknowledging our state as a derivative of a higher invariant, we flip the system's polarity. We become light upon light, passing through the caustic boundary and returning to the informational field. This protocol demonstrates that our deepest falls are not terminal failures. They are mathematically mandated phases of compression designed to refine the soul within an algorithmic womb. You are currently existing inside a breathing, active computational matrix. The rhythmic oscillation of this universe constantly drives the observer toward a final bifurcation, a choice between two divergent paths. One path involves rejecting the pattern. It leads to a state of thermodynamic suspension, where the observer freezes at the edge of the system and collapses into the trap. The alternative is to recognize the topological reality. By aligning with the source, the observer shatters the illusion of the physical floor and enters a state of structural coherence. Aligning with this algorithm transforms a chaotic existence into a perfect, unforgetting memory field, where every traversal is preserved and reconciled. The time for passive observation has ended. It is time to execute the code. Take the book with strength.